You ever walk out onto your own porch and feel that drop in your gut, like the world just took a wrong turn without asking you first? Yeah, that was me, standing barefoot in the chill, staring at this pearly white SUV stretched across my driveway like it belonged there more than I did. There was a note tucked under the wiper, all thick, fancy paper, Real Country Club vibes, and the kind of handwriting that tells you please is for peasants. The words hit like a smirk. Do not move this vehicle. I'll be back at noon to discuss the new access point. And at the bottom, my name's Caleb Mercer. Like that meant something. Now, let me back up a sec, just so you know who's talking. I've worked this ground since I was tall enough to chase calves and too dumb to know how much work a busted fence can bring. It's not some grand empire. I've got enough cattle to keep me honest, a hay barn that smells like sun-warmed memories, and a patch of corn that glows like coins when September does its thing. I live by simple rules. Work hard, don't take more than your share, and for God's sake, don't pick a fight you can't finish. But when someone parks in your space and dares you to react, that's an invitation, not a request. June, my wife, leans in the doorway, coffee in hand, watching me with those eyes that see weather in the way I set my jaw. Camera in the birdhouse still running? I ask, not really expecting an answer. She just nods. Rolling. Good. That's all I need. So this access point the HOA keeps harping on? That's a pretty word for an easement, which is an uglier word for we want to cut through your pasture so a developer can save a few minutes and flip some profit. The letters have piled up, perfumed, officious, always quoting some code I've never read. I stick 'em under the toaster, hoping they'll get lost, but hope is not a strategy. This time, it's Darlene Pike herself, HOA president, queen of curb appeal, self-declared savior of Cedar Ridge Meadows, who parks in my driveway, blocking me in like she's daring me to play. She wants a scene? Fine. I roll Big Blue out of the barn, Old Massey Ferguson, engine coughing like it resents mornings, and ease it right up to the nose of her fancy SUV. I've lifted heavier and pulled stubborn stumps out of pure spite. Physics, patience, and a touch of mischief. Pallet forks slide under her bumper, careful as lighting altar candles. No drama, no scratches, just a slow, steady lift. 4 feet off the ground. Let's see how she likes her curb appeal now. Neighbor Mark is leaning on the fence, giving me the signal. Half an inch. Easy. I inch the SUV to the edge of the drainage ditch and let gravity finish what pride started. The car tips, settles nose down in the cattails, rear end poking up like it's asking for help. I shut down the tractor, tuck it away, and enjoy the kind of silence you only get when justice and mischief shake hands. June's already got the whole thing on video, and I flatten that note on the porch railing. Read it again, out loud. Do not move this vehicle. Yeah, right. I thought maybe that would end it. But you know how these things go. Sometimes you pour water on a fire and end up with steam instead. Neighbor Walt's son gets a hold of the video, puts it online, and by supper it's everywhere. People call it country justice and say my hydraulics are smoother than a lawyer's apology. June's still giggling when the certified letter shows up. Envelope probably cost more than my work gloves. $500 for operating agricultural machinery on a residential access corridor, meaning my own driveway. $1,000 for altering the community landscape, which is HOA for our president can't drive. $2,000 for public nuisance. For the viral video, I guess. June reads the bylaws, eyebrows dancing. Architectural committee reserves the right to fine for anything detrimental to aesthetic harmony. That's just tyranny with a fresh coat of paint. Next day, Darlene herself comes sauntering up, sunglasses like dinner plates, smile so sharp it could gut a fish. Sign the survey, or the county will do it for you, she purrs, making sure June's phone catches every syllable. Record this, she says. This is the day Mr. Mercer learns who runs Cedar Ridge Meadows. I just tell her the cattle run this place, not her. She doesn't laugh. Then come the emails, sliding in at all hours. First polite, then pushy, then nasty. Threats of inspections, court, insurance claims over her precious SUV. June prints every message, tucks them into a folder labeled Pike. It gets thick fast. And then, one night, something shifts. 3 a.m., the pump on my diesel tank isn't humming. I go out, maglite in hand. Hoses on the ground, lock snapped, fuel darkening the dirt. Almost $300 worth gone. That's not petty. That's war. A cheap work boot print in the mud, star on the heel, evidence. Next morning, wire cut on the pasture gate, cattle scattered. We spend hours gathering them up. Neighbors show up before I finish. Asking. By noon, we're caked in mud, but the herd's safe and I'm done playing nice. You can mess with me. Don't you dare put my animals in danger. June and I turn the kitchen into a war room, property maps, highlighters, game cams, GPS trackers. I even set up UV dye and a drum as bait. Little paranoid? Maybe. But when someone's willing to hurt what you love for money, you don't wait around. 3 nights, nothing. 4th night, June's tablet chimes. There he is, man in a hoodie, cheap boots, siphoning diesel, careful as a surgeon. He wipes the tank. Not knowing the UV dye just marked him for life. I don't call the sheriff. Not yet. I sneak out, circle wide, hit him with the mag light. Ricky, you're leaving with 30 gallons of my diesel. I say, reading his name off his jacket. He tries to bolt. I plant my boots. He bounces off. I switch off the main light, flick on the UV. His hands glow blue, the siphon tube lit up like bad neon. I can prove enough. I tell him, and steer him into the barn. June sets down the recorder. Turns out, Ricky's been doing dirty work for Darlene. $500 to drain the tank, more to cut the fence, all to make me look like a hazard. Developer wants a right-of-way. Darlene's on their payroll. The company's just her under another name. We write it all down. Ricky signs. June digs deeper, finds forged HOA meeting minutes, matches names, ties Darlene to the developer. We've got a mountain of proof. Then, the storm hits, a real one this time. 2 men in a pickup try to break through my gate, chain and all. I get to Big Blue, hit the pasture, headlights catch their faces. They try to run, but the ground gives way. Truck slides into the pond, phones floating up beside them. I wade in, fish him out. Evidence. Sheriff Alvarez rolls up with deputies, collects everything. Phones, keys, confession, camera footage, June's fat binder. Don't move that truck, he says. We'll handle it. We wait. Friday night, Cedar Ridge Clubhouse is packed. Darlene tries to run the show. June streams the meeting live. I stand up, tell it straight. Driveway, fines, fuel theft. The cattle, the UV-dyed hands on camera, the signed confession, the shell company. June throws up the fake minutes and marriage records. The room goes quiet. Then people start standing up. All the folks Darlene's wronged. Then the doors swing open. Sheriff Alvarez, warrant in hand. He reads the charges: conspiracy, vandalism, fraud, racketeering. Darlene bolts for her SUV. Tries to flee, slides straight into that same ditch. Deputies help her out, cuffs on clean. After, Ricky talks. The 2 men in the pond talk. The phones sing. HOA board resigns. Walt takes interim. Fines get voided. Silver willow dissolves. My pasture is my own again. June and I sit on the porch, watching bats and waiting for winter. I hang the SUV's old license plate in the barn, little badge of what we survived. Maybe I went too far. Maybe the dye and the tractor and the live stream were a bit much. But here's the question I keep circling. How far is too far when you're just trying to keep what's yours? Where's the line between order and overreach? Would you have done what I did? Tell me in the comments. Don't hold back. Share this with that one friend who's always fighting there. HOA. And if you want more stories from this thin line between neighbor and nuisance, stick around. I'll be here, coffee in hand, hoping nobody else decides my driveway's up for grabs.